Hello, I'm Ranger Brandon, and I'm standing in front of the Roebling Bridge in the Upper Delaware Scenic and Recreational River.
The Upper Delaware River is the home of the oldest existing wire suspension bridge in the United States. The Delaware Aqueduct, now known as the Roebling Bridge, was built in 1847 as part of the Delaware and Hudson Canal System. It was the first suspension bridge designed and built by John A. Roebling, who later built the Brooklyn Bridge. As a solution to bottlenecks in traffic on the Delaware River, the Delaware and Hudson Canal Company commissioned Roebling to build the aqueduct. Prior to the construction of the aqueduct, the D&H Canal Company used a rope and ferry slackwater dam system to cross the Delaware River at the Lackawaxen Junction. Unfortunately, at the same time, the timber industry was also using the Delaware River to float lumber to Delaware shipyards and industries in Trenton and Philadelphia. Congestion at the junction caused several collisions between timber rafts and canal traffic, costing lives and lost revenue for both industries. Due to the loss of life, the D&H Canal Company approved John Roebling's plan to build the canal above the river. The aqueduct was a success and operated for 50 years until the closing of the canal system in 1898, as a result of the decline in demand for products transported by canal and the growth of the railroad industry, which provided a faster and cheaper way to get products to market. Shortly after being decommissioned, the aqueduct was sold to a private individual who converted it into a toll bridge. The original toll house, built in 1900 on the New York side of the bridge, is still in place and has been converted to a museum containing the history of the Roebling Bridge. Following the conversion to a toll bridge, the structure underwent a series of modifications. The Delaware Aqueduct continued to function as a vehicle bridge until 1979. In 1980, the National Park Service purchased the aqueduct to be preserved as part of the Upper Delaware Scenic and Recreational River. Almost all of the Delaware Aqueduct's existing ironwork, cables, saddles, and suspenders are the same materials installed when the structure was built. Many of the cutting-edge engineering techniques and principles used to construct the aqueduct are still in use today. The two suspension cables made of wrought iron strands, spun on site under the direction of John Roebling, are the original cables used to construct the bridge. Each 8½ inch diameter suspension cable carries 2,150 wires bunched into 7 strands. The cable strands are held in place by wrapping wire. The wrapping wire was the only component of the cable system replaced in 1985, after almost 140 years of use. Roebling's cast iron pier saddles still sit astride these cables as they cross the original stone piers. The canal company replaced the wooden superstructure made of white pine every 25 years. The last surviving canal-era timbers were removed in the 1930s. In 1986, the bridge was renovated using Roebling's original plans, drawings, notes, and specifications, after which the wooden icebreakers, towpaths, and aqueduct walls were reconstructed in 1995. Today, visitors can walk across this former aqueduct, following the path taken by canal boys and their mules over a century ago. Where canal boats once slowly floated, modern vehicles now cross the Delaware River between New York and Pennsylvania. Located less than 2 hours from Manhattan, the Roebling Bridge attracts thousands of visitors each year to view and walk across one of the last remaining historic bridges of its type, whose engineering innovations allowed for larger bridges to be built, connecting communities and creating beautiful landmarks.
The Roebling Bridge is just one of many cultural treasures found in the Upper Delaware Scenic and Recreational River. To learn more about Upper Delaware's historic treasures, visit the National Park Service website at nps.gov.